What's up, y'all? Welcome back to an ESPN NFL 2K5 franchise rebuild with the Detroit Lions, and this is officially the finale of the highlight videos for the Detroit Lions because, as you can see, we are Super Bowl champions. In our fourth season of the rebuild, we take home the championship against the Indianapolis Colts, in large part due to our Super Bowl MVP, Drew Brees, as we saw at the end of the game. Drew Brees is also our first nod on the Pro Bowl team, coming in second to votes to, you guessed it, Carson Palmer over in Arizona. Roy Williams also gets the Pro Bowl nod for his fantastic season, along with Dewey Walters getting up there, not as, barely half the votes as Jeremy Shockey, which is crazy, but he gets in regardless. Damian Woody getting the Pro Bowl nod once again, as well as our kicker, John Casey. So good job by John Casey being accurate this year. Sam Farmer and Marcus Trufant make the Pro Bowl team on the defensive side of the ball, as does Lowell Sparks, our rookie free safety, getting the nod as well. Moving over to our retirements, John Casey and Fernando Bryant are calling it a career after becoming Super Bowl champions. We wish them all the best in retirement. Some other notable retirements, Rodney Harrison and Mike Vrabel, both calling it a quits in New England. Warren Sapp is calling a retirement out of Oakland. We've got Eddie George calling it a fantastic career out of Tennessee. Ty Streets, this isn't really a big one, but he is retiring because we traded him to San Francisco. Marshall Faulk also retiring in San Francisco. You can see Brock Marion, one of our other trades, retiring in Cincinnati. Edgerrin James hanging it up a little bit early, retiring out of the Broncos. Denver, I almost said Buffalo. Priest Holmes and Tony Gonzalez calling it a career out of Kansas City. Amani Toomer is retiring out of New York City, and that is all of our major retirements this time around. We allow those retirements to happen, and we're going to jump immediately into our re-signing period. As you can see, we have a lot of guys on expiring contracts. The most important guy that we want to sign right away is Boss Bailey. We go ahead and cut a couple of guys. As you can see, a couple of those names disappearing kind of on the lower end of things. We also release Freeman, and then we go ahead and sign Boss Bailey to a 5-year, $17 million deal that's going to be front-loaded, so we're going to get paid the most right now. We also decide to part ways with Najee Davenport. Thank you so much for your service, Najee. And we go ahead and re-sign Ben Watson again for 5 years, $20.5 million. Again, getting a front-load contract since he is up at a 96 overall, and he is a reliable goal line option. We do part ways with Tim Owen after signing him in free agency, and we go ahead and re-sign Keith Smith for a pretty team-friendly 5-year, $5.75 million deal. Again, it's a descending contract, so he'll get most of that right now. So we have the 32nd pick. Obviously, we see Hank Stevens is the pick for us, but we decided to trade away from that first-round pick with DM included, and we get a ton of picks, second round, third round, and next year's second round from the Jacksonville Jaguars. We go ahead and draft with that second-round pick Julian Martin out of Wake Forest, so that's going to be our second round pick, Julian Martin, the defensive tackle. We knew we needed a kicker, so we take our next draft pick and we grab Roosevelt McKenzie out of Clemson, and we have solved our kicker problem, hopefully. Grant Graves is going to be our next pick, the outside linebacker out of Nebraska. Go Huskers is going to come on to our team with that pick. After that, Gary Long, our next pick in the, I believe, 4th round at this point, is going to come to us from Iowa State. We grab him there, a pretty good-looking fullback. That's a need of ours that we needed. At the cornerback spot, we go ahead and grab Arnold Boyd out of Iowa. The Midwestern man is hopefully going to come in and make a difference in our secondary. The next pick, we grab a little inside linebacker depth with Orville McCoy coming out of Baylor. 6'1", 244. Hopefully he's a hard hitter in the middle of the field. Julian Martin, that second round pick, is a 77 overall. He gets a pretty decent contract. We accidentally gave him a descending contract because I wasn't really paying attention, but I started paying attention after that. Grant Graves is a 74 overall. We give him a nice 6-year ascending deal for $4.5 million overall. Gary Long, the fullback that we drafted, is a 72 overall. We grab him for 5 years, roughly $3.85 million, and we go ahead and make that an ascending contract as well. All of these ascending contracts with no bonuses are very risk-free if they're getting up into the point where we feel like they're too expensive. As we see, Roosevelt McKenzie comes in at a 67 overall. We can just go ahead and cut them without feeling any sort of of way about it. Arnold Boyd is a 64 overall. We're going to grab him for 4 years, $1.55 million. Again, really just cap-friendly signings right here. Orville McCoy is going to come in for $820K over 4 years. That's a ridiculous contract. And finally, Benny Santiago, our Mr. Irrelevant, we grab him for $1.95 over 4 years. So we have our preseason coming up. We start with the Denver Broncos. We visit the Buffalo Bills. We play the Arizona Cardinals. We have a bye, and then we play Washington. So let's get right into our preseason week number 1. We love a victory, even if it's coming in the preseason, and we're going to go ahead and keep this train running because there were no moves made by us. We're going to jump right into our next simulated game against the Buffalo Bills. 2 for 2. You really love to see it as we simulate through week number 2. We've been looking forward to this one against Carson Palmer and the Arizona Cardinals. No moves made by us here in the preseason, so once again, we're jumping right back into the simulation action. A third week and a third win for us. We are certainly rolling, and we're going to roll right into our bye week. I don't believe anything big happens in our bye week either, but we did sustain an injury. Cedric Navarro goes down again with a pulled hamstring. That's a long time being out. Thankfully, a couple of those weeks will go away, so we simulate all the way through the bye week, and we jump right into our final simulated game of the preseason. Let's see if we can go 4-0 coming off of a Super Bowl championship against Washington. 4-0 was the case. We get that 4th win against Washington. The football team does not do their best against us, and we go ahead and take the victory. Now, we were not done making moves. We decided to get a little bit more draft capital and to trade Cozy Coleman away to the New York Football Jets. We grabbed Phillips and 2 of their picks. This was a strategic trade away for us. And then we also get rid of Glover because we feel like we are too deep at fullback. We grab a 2nd, a 4th, and a 5th round pick from the New Orleans Saints. So those are all the moves that we made. This is our regular season schedule. We start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We play Washington. We go to New England. We play the Jets at home. We visit Green Bay to open our conference schedule before going to Philadelphia for an NFC Championship rematch. We play Arizona and Carson Palmer before the bye week. We then head back home for Buffalo. We travel to Chicago. We play Dallas, and then we go to Minnesota before going back home for Chicago, visiting sunny, probably rainy Miami. We play the Packers. We play the Vikings. We play the Giants, and then we hopefully go to the playoffs. We grab this rookie halfback, Felix Mullins, 4 years, $4.75 million, just to get a little bit of extra depth at halfback, and that is going to be it for this setup for the next episode. So the next episode is actually technically going to be just the uncut version of this, not live. I'm just going to I really want to keep playing this series. So we're going to keep playing this series. We're going to just record games, and by we, I mean me. I'm going to just record games and kind of just post them uncut moving forward. But I just want to, if you got this far, thank you so much for watching this series all the way. I started this series over a year ago. This is still just a fun hobby for me, but I've had a lot of fun doing it. It's been a great excuse to come back to this game after 20 plus years, and all the support you've been giving in the form of watching, of liking, of commenting, and subscribing has just meant a ton to me over the roller coaster that this last couple of years has been. So thank you so much for getting this far. If you can think to leave a like, it really helps in the algorithm. If you want to leave a comment, tell me about your favorite game, your favorite player from this Detroit Lions team. And if you haven't already, smash up on that subscribe button. I'd love to have you for more. We do have the Buccaneers series just starting out. We're about 3 seasons into the Dolphins series, and I'm hopefully going to do more rebuilds and more games roping into this channel sooner than later. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for watching. And for Peanuts 24/7, we'll see you in the next series.